Okay, then hurry, will you?
5 more minutes and we're out of here, okay? Hey, Frank, this lineup better be ready or we're ready to go.
Okay, just stay put. I'll check on it.
Then
right
let
now,
me just
okay?
go with you to make...
I'll let you know when we're ready.
Ross has his nerve.
Why are you so upset? I mean, you heard what Frank said about sticking to the
Abby,
rules.
this lineup is totally ridiculous. We all know who Roy Meacham
Please
is.
just stop. I am okay with this.
Well, I'm not.
Well, Rick, it's really not about you. So, what is really bothering you?
I told you Ross didn't have to do this.
Okay, so then why did he do it?
Well, I hate to even think about the reasons, but I hope he's not using this case as a way to get back at me with Kevin.
A way to get back at you. What?
Wait a minute,
Ross
wait a minute.
would not
what
do
if,
that.
What if he's trying to make life difficult for you? Okay? To get back at me, to stop my claims on Kevin being my son.
Rick, I do not believe that Ross would do that.
Well, I'm sorry. I have to think about
No.
that.
Ross would not do that to either one of us. He is a professional, and he is our friend.
Thank you, Abby, for that vote of confidence.
All right, why did you make her come all the way down here to make an ID? This has been tough enough already for her.
I want to make sure that I have a solid eyewitness before I decide whether or not to prosecute this case.
I cannot believe what... You're considering not prosecuting this pervert who attacked Abby? Is that what you're saying?
The only type of case harder to win than rape is attempted rape.
Wait a minute, Ross. We're not talking about just attempted rape. We're talking about assault. We're talking about
What you're not
breaking and
talking
entering.
about is an eyewitness.
He left her for dead,
Now,
wrapped
look,
up in a
I
carpet.
want you both to understand the reality of this situation. This is not going to be an open and shut case.
Why not? This pervert, he stalked her for days. Abby clearly knows who this man is.
Yes, that's true.
Well, the defense attorney will do everything in his power to dispute it.
It's indisputable. These are cold, hard facts.
Not really. Now, when you regained consciousness, Abby, you did not remember the attack or the attacker.
No, I had a concussion, and so right after I woke up, I couldn't really even remember who I was.
Yes, I know. I read your medical records, and so will the defense attorney, and he'll use them to their advantage.
But I did remember later, practically right after that.
According to the defense, that may not be good enough. I mean, somebody could have planted that information in your mind.
No, I remember this man. I remember the way he looked at me. Like I was a piece of meat or something that he could just take without asking. And I remember his face. I know it was Roy. And I will always know it was Roy.
I hope so, Abby. Because if you're not absolutely certain, I don't want you to even try to make an ID. Wavering is the worst possible thing you could do. Defense attorneys jump all over indecision.
I understand that. And you don't have to worry about it. Because his face is burned in my mind forever.
Abby, there is something else that you need to understand. That your name and reputation could be dragged through the mud.
Oh, for Pete's sake,
The defense will do everything to dig up anything they can to discredit you, and they won't be afraid to use it.
Let him try. Abby's one of the most decent, moral human beings I have ever met in my life.
Well, defense attorneys always say there's a flip side to every coin and every story.
Ross, what are they going to do? They're going to send paparazzi to Goshen to try to dig up some dirt? Come on. Abby lived a very protected life in a very close community.
That's right. Until she turned her back on her parents and her religious upbringing, she moved to the big city to lead a life of sin and depravity.
Okay, you're
Depravity?
crossing a line here.
Am I? They're going to say that she has a history of behavior that is so shameful her father doesn't even want her home again.
That was for totally
Not to mention
different
the fact that she
reasons.
lived with you out of wedlock.
What? She lived in my
And
garage
there's at least
apartment
one
by
occasion
herself.
that we know of that she went down to the sleaziest part of town all by herself without telling anybody.
Shut up.
So who knows what kind of secret life Abby could be living. By day, a hospital clerk. By night, looking for Mr. Goodbar. And I haven't even touched on the fact that what was Abby wearing on the night of the attack? This is going to get ugly. And you and Abby, you have to understand that.
This is sick, Ross. This has been a horrible nightmare for her. This isn't some kind of joke.
No, it's not a joke. It's a fact of life. Mr. Meacham's attorney He's going to take the low road against Abby, and you have to be prepared for it.
Who is this attorney? What's his name?
I don't know. I assume it's going to be somebody from the public defender's office, and sometimes they can be very, very good.
Well, what does that mean in the big picture?
Well, the classic defense for a rape case, you blame it on the victim. Make it seem like they were asking for it.
But I didn't.
Abby, I know that. And I am very sorry for all the hurt that you've gone through. I know that if Blake were attacked, I'd want to take this guy and strangle him before he even saw a courtroom, but we can't do that. That is not the way the system works. Everybody, Mr. Meacham included, they are innocent until proven guilty. Now, Mr. Meacham, he's going to try and put as much of that guilt on you as he can, and he doesn't care how he does it.
So all of these things you've been saying about me, those are all going to be said in court. We're all going to have to hear that.
Yes, you are. And probably more.
And she gets to be victimized all over again, right, Ross?
I know it's not fair, Rick, but that's the way it is. Abby, listen to me. There is nothing I would like more than to prosecute this SOD. But you have to be willing to go through it, go the distance. I will do everything I can to protect you. This is now your decision.
I've stayed away too long. Maybe if I hadn't, none of this would have happened.
This? What do you mean by this, Dad? Jesse?
It's not just Jesse. It's you, it's Rick, it's Abby. What happened to her was unspeakable.
You're blaming me and Jesse for that, aren't you?
That's not what I meant.
Yes, it is.
Look, Dr. Bauer, me and Michelle, we've been blaming ourselves for the longest time for what happened.
You know, if I hadn't been afraid to tell Rick that I was seeing Jesse, Abby wouldn't even gone to his place that night.
And it's like Abby said, it's not our fault. It's that low-life Roy's fault.
You gotta stop looking at Jesse like he's trouble, Dad. He's the complete opposite. He would never, ever hurt anybody, not in a million years.
Bill.
Dad, I thought you were going to be gone. I came to see Michelle.
Well, she's right here. We were having a talk.
Oh, do you want me to come back another time?
No, that's all right. Come on in.
Oh, okay, hi. Hello, Jesse.
Hi, Miss Raines.
Michelle, your dad came to see me the other day, and, well, he was very upset.
You told her what I said?
Yes.
I wish you hadn't. I don't want to go back there.
Well, do you think I do? Do you think your father does?
Then why did you come over here?
Because I know that the time has come for us to talk this out. We finally have to come to terms with what happened, Michelle, and talk about it.
I'm sorry, Lillian, but I can't right now. Just... Not now. You'll have to excuse me.
Good thing.
Well, that was a rousing success.
It's not your fault. She was